Okay, so my name is Nana Odum. My favorite colors are black, yellow, and gray. I love to eat spinach stew with rice. My favorite drink is Calipo. Yeah. Nana does not represent a brand. Shimaya does. And that's my middle name. So Nana's just me, bubbly person, and then the Shimaya, the work side. So Shimaya is a stylist and now fashion brand owner. Styling, wow. So styling is very big in terms of like what goes into it. It's not just putting clothes on people, is beyond that. So now I can actually creative direct as well. So it's creative direction and the styling merged in together, which is even more broad. So things that go into it is things like color palettes, physically scouting for places to shoot, thinking of themes for shoots, how that represents the client or what you're trying to sell. Yeah, it's big. To just cramp it in a nutshell. But it's big. A lot goes into it. And then you have the clothing side, and that's the styling where, you're just either designing or picking clothes from designers to suit the client that you're trying to work with. So I started off as a stylist. No, I was actually an intern for a very well-known stylist in London called Erica Matthews. I was her intern just for 2 days, and then I quit. I quit because not that I didn't love what I was doing, but from the little, I'm a very, very fast learner. So being with her for 2 days, I kind of realized that the interning is not gonna help me in any way because I'm following her lead. I wanted to find my own niche as a stylist and not to follow someone, because then I would learn for myself as to how to do things and how I want to represent my own brand, because she's obviously teaching me what she represents as her brand, and I'm very, on my own. So I quit after 2 days. I said thank you, and then I became self-taught. So I read a lot of books, watched a lot of videos, picked a few things from when I was interning with her, and then voila, Trendyrail kind of just happened. It was very scriptured, like it was very structured. Each day, you go pull clothes. So first of all, you contact all these PR companies, depending on what you're working on. Each PR company has, a different brand, whether it's urban, glamorous, all of them are different. And then, so Erica would contact all these people, and then I would basically pick up a suitcase, have an email from her with all these places that I need to go. But she was lovely. She did it in alphabetical order. And also in terms of direction, it was easy. So the last place will be close to home. And then you just go to all these PR places, and then you say why you're there, what you're picking, and then they just give you a bag. You put it in the suitcase, you jump on a train, and you go to the next destination. That was me as an intern. She was lovely to do all the other work, but I wanted to know the other work. But looking at things, it would have taken at least a month for me to get to that stage, because it's stages. So I was like, nah, this is not for me. Let me just try and do it myself. And Rails of London. So Rails of London is my baby. Ever since I was in school, creativity is in our blood. My sister sews. My auntie does event planning. She's very good with, creating stuff with cards and stuff like that. It's in our blood. We're all very creative. My auntie does hair, so it was only right. And in school, I was the only person that had my clothes customized, my uniform customized, had my name at the back. I'll never forget it. So I stood out like a sore thumb. I knew that, apart from styling, I wanted to have my own fashion brand, whether it's me being the main designer or me directing people to design what's in my head. And from styling, sometimes you can't always get what you want. Even though I can visually see it, the designer doesn't get it. So, Rails of London is basically something that I have started that I hope will be, you know, on the leads of the Balmains, the Gucci's, because yeah, like the kind of designs that I have in my head and the things that I put onto paper, I'm excited by it. But yeah, Rails of London is amazing. So I wanted it to be connected with Trendyrail in a way, because Trendyrail is like a styling hub. It only made sense to have the name connected to it somehow. Now, I don't know if you know how Trendyrail came about, but Trendyrail is, every stylist needs a rack, a rail. So that rail always have trendy pieces on there. So that's how Trendyrail was birthed. Now, Rails of London is obviously a rail. And me, even though I was born in Ghana, I left when I was like 2, when I was like a baby, so I grew up in London. So it's basically my 2 interests put together. So I have 2 different cultures, which is the Ghana side and the UK side. So the London attached to it kind of reflects where I've grown up. I didn't want it to be Rails of Ghana, only because me as a person, I reflect Ghana. I'm very, you know, very African. I embrace my culture. So it just sounded nice. And then, you know, the London, my background and everything, just Rails of London. Brands that I've worked with, Vogue Italia, I've worked with them twice. I've done Snooker magazine. That was a favorite of mine because we did some African stuff and that was very different from the magazine. I've done Element, I've done Pride, I've done, what's the other one? I don't know, Black Beauty. And then also the other brands that I've worked with, but these are personal brands. You have Anita Erskine, Sarkcess. I've worked with Burna Boy as a co-stylist at his Apollo show. Stoneboy. Don't know if I said Bianca Buckman, but Bianca Buckman as well. Kitty, Kwame Eugene, Miss V. Yeah, the list goes on. Fuse ODG. Yeah, it goes on. Styling in London is very fun. It's fun because you get to be extremely creative. I love all my publications because that was me. That was me being creative. That was me putting, you know, glass shoe on a model, and you know, styling in London is very experimental. None of the clients mind getting it wrong, because even if you get it wrong in London, it's a fashion statement. You know, somebody will always make sense of why you're wearing a blue shoe, but you're matching it with a yellow top and you're wearing red jeans. Like in London, or, you know, they get it, you know, it can either, because there's different styles of dressing. There's bohemian, there's sports luxe, so we understand all those things. In Ghana, however, nah, it's not the same. It's not the same. And I think that's why I've really limited myself to working with such a close circle. Without demeaning anyone's brand, I feel like these people get it. They understand what styling is. They always want to evolve. There's fights, you know, you can pull up with clothes sometimes, and, you know, whether Anita Erskine or Bianca Buckman or Sarkcess can be like, I'm not wearing that. You know, that one is there too, but the clients I have so far, they understand the power of branding and they understand what fashion does to their brand, because that fashion goes hand in hand with anything, you know. But Ghana is very, very different. And also PRs. In London, we're fortunate enough to have PR companies that we can go to and just say, okay, I'm working with so and so. I want to pull this dress, that dress, this dress, that dress. Ghana is slightly hard. Everybody wants to make clothes from scratch. I think it's only the young designers, which those are my favorites. I love working with young designers in Ghana. They now get it as to having sample pieces, knowing, you know, what sample pieces are and how it helps their brand to grow. So, there's improvement for that in Ghana. They're still learning, which is good. But it's hard, but you got to do what you have to do. It's your job. So how you're going to bring it to the table, we don't care. Just bring it to the table. So, but it's still fun. So it's tougher here, but in London, when I'm stressed, long drives, I would literally just leave my house at 12 a.m., just drive and just play airy music. What I mean by airy music is, you know, those music that you listen to that has some sort of a breather, like a wave to it, you know, you just listen to those and it's very soothing. I can sit by the beach the whole day, and then just being by the water is just so refreshing, and I get a lot of ideas just being by the water. It's relaxing. I come out with so many ideas, just so refreshed. Okay, so for Trendyrail, this 2021, I think I've been the overseer. I've been working alone for 7 years now. So I'm hoping to have some interns, because in the long run, I would just want to be managing Trendyrail. Trendyrail is now becoming a hub, a styling hub. What I mean by that is, it's going to be a styling hub where I have at least 1 or 2 stylists in-house that they will just be dealing with their own clients or whatever clients they have, but I will oversee in terms of their services, looking at mood boards to say, yes, it's good for the client, or no, it's not good for the client, work on this, work on that. And then, you know, unless a client wants me personally to work with them, then I will do it. And obviously my core clients, I have them for life. Till they say, no, go away. You know, I have them for life. So I will work on those. But right now, Trendyrail is going to be a hub, God willing. It's going to be a hub to give other stylists a chance to, you know, use the name, use the brand that I've already built, just to help them. And then, you know, in the long run, if they feel like they're good, we can. But that's it. And then Rose of London collection, because I've taken branding so serious, content plays a major key for us. So even if we're going to bring out a new collection, campaigns, you know. So, but yeah, those are the plans. We just need to shoot more campaigns, whether it be in London, Ghana, any location. Yeah, I'm really investing in marketing for Rose of London, and I think it's important because people like to shop quality stuff, and it's what you put out there, that's what they see. So yeah. Rose of London is available on railsoflondon.com. A lot of people don't like to go on websites. Please go on the websites. It's very informative. It will tell you what's in stock, what's not in stock. You know, our email addresses are there as well. We can help with styling. So if you even buy something that you don't know how to wear it, I got you. I will email you myself. So on the socials, we have Rose of London on Instagram, spelled just as Rose of London. On Twitter is Rose of London, but the London is abbreviated to LND. And then yeah, email is roseoflondon@gmail.com. You know, we respond. I mean, I don't sleep, so most times you're talking to me. I'm just very grateful in terms of the way everybody has received Rose of London, not just in Ghana, but everywhere. When I see, you know, the orders come in, the kind of stuff that, you know, people send in their inboxes, and it's very heartwarming to see that a brand that's just 7 months old can be so, you know, can have such an impact, you know. And I'm grateful enough to have such supportive clients. I mean, they don't have to, but they do it. And for that alone, it makes me feel like they believe in what I'm doing. You know, they just don't believe in me as a stylist, but they believe in me as a creator, as a designer. So I love every single person who has purchased from Rose of London. Thank you. Don't stop supporting us, because we will be nothing without you guys. You know, thank you. Thank God as well, man, because, you know, this pandemic, to be able to do all of this in this pandemic has been amazing. So yeah, and then lastly, never be ordinary.